Good morning, everyone. Virgo Triad here. It is January 31st, 2018. We're almost into February. Unbelievably fast this month has gone. It just seems to keep getting faster, doesn't it? I hope everyone is having a great week. We are halfway through the week, and Friday is rapidly approaching. Thank goodness. I'm very much looking forward to taking a break this weekend. I unfortunately have another public service announcement that has been brought to my attention by an anonymous person that was kind enough to forward me a great deal of information with regards to a very, very serious situation. I don't know what the deal is with people coming out with their own juices at this point, or why it keeps ending up in my corner. But with regards to this situation, I'm glad that it has. Now, some of you might have heard of Jilly Juice. You can locate information on Jilly Juice at jillyjuice.com. It is a interesting scenario, to say the least. This particular protocol has been swarming around the internet for about 4 to 5 years from what I've been able to assess. It's growing rapidly in numbers, and the person who has actually come up with this protocol is not a doctor, not in any way, shape, or form qualified to be doing or suggesting what they are. They have basically a protocol to cleanse your system. They are claiming that this cures everything from high blood pressure to cancer. They are claiming that this is 100% natural and safe. And I'm going to explain to you the reason behind why I am so concerned. Now, for those of you that already may know, I have had some pretty serious health problems in my past. I am a cancer patient, and I am very, very familiar with eating properly in order to keep your body healthy and in tip-top shape to be able to fight everything from chemotherapy to iodine radiation treatments. And let me tell you that what is in this actual protocol is very, very scary. So if anybody comes up across this, I want you to pay very close attention to the information that I'm about to give you, and I want you to pay attention to the information in the description as far as the requirements of a normal adult male or female body. Now, what Jilly Juice actually is it is a protocol that is considered a recipe, and it basically entails cabbage, salt, water, and if you choose kale, otherwise you don't have to use the kale, but you absolutely have to use the other items. Now, what is in each dosage of this juice, and you're asked to make it a gallon at a time, start with approximately a gallon a day. We are talking about 290% of what the body is supposed to have in sodium intake using the Himalayan salt. Now, there are going to be people that say, oh, but it's the Himalayan pink salt, therefore the sodium value is not as high. No, you're right, it's not. It's 2% lower. 2%, that's it. So using regular table salt versus Himalayan pink Himalayan salt, doesn't make a difference. It's only 2% different in terms of sodium. Now, sodium overdose is toxic and can kill. And a lot of people don't realize that. A lot of people do not realize the adverse health effects that you can have by having too much sodium in your bloodstream at once. It can give you everything from vomiting, diarrhea, and stomach cramps and leg cramps, all the way up to seizures and death. It is extremely serious, and in this case, this sodium intake is way out of control. Now, with regards to the cabbage that's in it, the protocol requires for you to use 2 tablespoons of the Himalayan salt, um, and the chopped up cabbage, along with uh, the 2 cups of water. Now, what's going to happen here, according to this protocol, is that it sits out and ferments for 3 days. The interesting thing about this recipe is that it reminds me a lot of my grandmother's recipe for sauerkraut. I do not believe, number one, that she ever let it sit out for just 3 days. It was a longer process than that because it takes cabbage about 3 weeks to ferment properly. You can actually look that up on just about any recipe. As a matter of fact, a lot of people actually allow it to ferment for up to 6 weeks before opening the canning jar and actually using it when we're talking about sauerkraut. So 3 days worth of fermenting doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Seems to me the majority of what you're going to be getting is water and salt. And unfortunately, that is a recipe for disaster. Now, what you were just seeing actually is the website for Jilly Juice. But because there are so many people that have actually had adverse reactions to the Jilly Juice, you will find on YouTube that there are a great number of testimonials. A lot of them, the majority of them, as a matter of fact, are negative. I don't know how this woman is continuing to do what she's doing. But her name is Jillian Mai Tai Epperly, and she has apparently been passing out her Jilly Juice protocol and her membership fee, which allows people to come into her membership group on Facebook and otherwise, for about 5 years now. Now, Jillian makes all kinds of claims with regards to what this juice can do, but the majority of it is simply this: it cures damn near everything. But as you can see, when we look at the different videos that are out here, you can see that a lot of them are exposing Jillian Epperly. This young lady here is very upset. As a matter of fact, she has gone as far as to open up a ripoff report for people to report on, as it appears that there have been a total of 3 people that have passed away after being on Jillian's protocol. Her website very clearly states in all of the sections of it that she is not responsible for what happens to you after you make her protocol and drink it on a regular basis. She pushes for you to be very aggressive with it, which means more toxicity from this massive amount of sodium. And there is actually information right here on Bruce Wilmot's death. Now, let me explain. There are conflicting pieces of information with regards to Bruce's death. Yes, we know he was a cancer patient. We know that he was in the latter stages of cancer. It does not appear, from what I have been able to investigate and find out, that he was on hospice prior to beginning to take the Jilly Juice. As a matter of fact, if you look at the Exposing Jillian Epperly channel, you will see this video right here, and you will see that Bruce Wilmot died in hospice after he drank Jilly Juice. Bruce Wilmot was not in hospice prior to drinking Jilly Juice, and this is a fact. She goes on to provide evidence of that. However, I do want to caution you that this is extremely upsetting once you get into it and start looking it up. There are many, many people who have suffered various ways, everything from just a trip to the hospital to being hospitalized to death in 3 cases. And not all of them were cancer patients or extremely ill before this started. Apparently, the juice itself is, a fermented cabbage juice. As I said, the protocol is listed on her website or in her membership area. And an anonymous party actually forwarded me the recipe and the information on all of the on all of the backlinks and everything of her site. But I do want you to pay attention here that there are more than just the exposing of Jillian Epperly channel and website. Here is the House of Light to the Nations Ministries exposing the lie of Jillian Mai Tai, saying she's extremely dangerous. Her protocol is not hers. It's a recipe to sauerkraut, which is what it sounded like to me. She's running literally a blind cult. That I'm hearing that all over the place. That there's a Facebook cult that she is literally making them drink her Kool-Aid, we'll say. She claims quite repeatedly that this happens to be a protocol that will cure candida, or candida, however you want to pronounce it. There are a couple of different ways to pronounce this, which of course is yeast. And that is a problem. It does have an issue with parasites and so on and so forth. But most people will use a probiotic in order to cure that. That's what's suggested by physicians. It's even what is suggested by holistic doctors. It's extremely easy to deal with candida with regards to an overabundance of yeast in the system by just simply eating plain yogurt. So, not sure why that seems to be something she focuses on a lot. Maybe that's something that a lot of people are experiencing right now. She tends to jump back and forth. Again, more information with regards to her encouraging Bruce to continue to drink the Jillian juice, even when he was saying that his system he wasn't doing well. It didn't seem to be something that his body could handle. Maybe he was too weak in the stage of cancer that he was in to handle how much pain it was putting him in. But she continued to make statements, and even does on here, that he was not aggressive enough, and therefore that's why it didn't cure him. It's really sad. It's very disgusting to me. It's very clear that this woman has given out a recipe for very salty and unhealthy sauerkraut juice, and she is literally using it to gather people together and trying to convince them that the pain they're experiencing, the numbness in their hands, and everything else that they're going through, which is really all evidence of swelling in their joints and in their cells and even in their brain, which is what can cause the seizures and death, is all ridding their body of toxins, when in reality it's just flooding their system with sodium, which is extremely toxic. You can just keep going, and there are tons and tons and tons of pieces of information with regards to all the different deaths and illnesses and all of the testimonials that are on here about Jillian. Okay, and just so everyone knows, this is actually an anonymous person sent this to me. I do not believe they want me to actually state who they are, so therefore I'm not going to do that. I'm going to say thank you to that person for sending it to me, and I'm going to go ahead and read to you what the actual information is that they forwarded on, and I'll be listing this information in the description in addition. So it basically says that this file was compiled on Jillian Mai Tai Epperly. Background information is also inserted into this file. Dangerous quack from Sacramento, California, that is peddling a protocol containing the following ingredients: 1 tablespoon of salt, plus 2 cups of cabbage, plus 2 cups of water fermented for 3 days. 1 tablespoon of sodium equals 2,325, I'm sorry, 1 teaspoon of sodium equals 2,325 milligrams, or 96% of your daily value requirement as an adult male or female. 1 tablespoon of sodium equals 6,976 milligrams, or 290% of your daily value requirement. Here is a nutritional daily value requirement display of what is on the back of a food or beverage product for consumer awareness. Jillian does not even put nutritional facts on her labels. She believes in consumer reviews and objects on the grounds that the benefits as she advertises, can ever be proven. So I'm going to go ahead and link this information, which includes the FDA.gov food guide, will tell you what is healthy and what your body requires. You will see that this is an exorbitant amount, even in smaller doses, when she is pushing up to a gallon a day, which is the reason why you're finding people with this toxicity that's coming up. There was a paramedic, as a matter of fact, that reviewed this, and his statement was that it's extremely toxic, it's extremely dangerous, very, very scary. A small enough person could potentially die. There are children that have been given this protocol that had severe seizures, pets that have died, pets that have had extreme seizures. I do not know why anyone would not check with a doctor, or at the very least check the ingredients and make sure that it's at least nutritional before going ahead. That's an extreme amount of salt. I don't even know how you'd be able to comfortably swallow it. But anyhow, this is, again, just a public service announcement to everybody that we are dealing with a person that clearly has no PhD. They are not licensed as a physician in the state of California. They are not even a holistic doctor. They are simply someone that has put together a one-size-fits-all type of protocol and are saying that it is a body cleanse, when indeed it actually is filling your body with toxicity of sodium. It's extremely scary and dangerous. People don't even realize how bad sodium is when there's a major rush of that all of a sudden. Your first response to it is you're going to feel kind of drunk. Just similar to the way, if anybody ever has drank dill pickle juice out of the jar before, it gives you kind of this almost a drunk feeling for a few minutes. That's because the sodium level is so high. Now that, if you're not drinking a whole lot of it, you may feel sick to your stomach for a few minutes, but it will flush itself out. But when you are putting a gallon's worth of this in your system, you're going to be extremely sick and you're going to be in a lot of pain, from gastral stuff all the way up to your muscles wanting to freeze up on you, and possibly your fingers and toes going numb, this sort of thing, if it doesn't actually take you out completely and give you seizures and put you in the hospital or worse. Guys, I don't know what's going on here with the food stuff. I don't know what's happening with these people just deciding all of a sudden that they know best. And so therefore we're going to put something together in our kitchen and then we're going to sell it. Whether we're going to send it out and ship it to you, like we just saw a couple days ago, or whether we're going to sell it as a protocol with a membership attached to it. It seems like the scams are coming out left and right, really, really scary when it comes to human consumption. I'm going to go ahead and turn this in. I'm going to red flag it, hopefully, for the state of California to hopefully have this woman shut down. I believe that there is information on a ripoff report somewhere about this family of the gentleman that just not too long ago passed away. That definitely was related to the Jilly juice because of the fact that he clearly was not on hospice prior to drinking it. I hope that they file the lawsuit and that it shuts this woman down. But at this point, it appears that she is still in existence. She is still on Facebook, and the person that sent this to me is clearly extremely concerned. So again, a PSA, I want to make sure everybody is aware. If you run into Jilly juice, and you're welcome to go to the website, look it over, look up the FDA information, take a look at what sodium toxicity does to your body. You will see I have good reason to be extremely concerned about this. I hope everybody has a wonderful day. I will not probably be back doing videos again until tomorrow, might possibly even be Friday. I need to take a couple of days off just to get myself rested up and feeling a little better, kind of a little under the weather today. So forgive me, you might miss me for a couple of days. I certainly will miss you, but I'll be better off when I come back. And I hope everybody has a great day today. Okay, so take care and look out for this juice. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there, guys. Bye-bye.